I could tell you a whimsical tale that's probably very inaccurate.
The Sensible Sociopath.
2, 3, 1, go.
Roma, the podcast is here!
It really never gets old.
Sorry about those jokes I said earlier about babies with both sets of genitals.
What does that even mean?
You know, I'm willing to risk my life for this podcast, Roma.
Ugh, that sounds insane.
And I'm also willing to risk your life for this podcast.
There's a difference between like uncomfortable and creepy.
Anyways, that's why I think pedophilia is just a sexuality like any other.
It was kind of traumatizing.
White people are bad and do bad things.
Periods are not just for women.
Take off their underwear and relax with their uncle.
How fast can I eat your ass?
I mean, you know, you look at me and you go, this is an international man.
My whole life is a sham.
And you can't get the white Oreos, that's racist.
I think I counted like 25 racially charged jokes.
White privilege allows me to turn off someone's headlights.
I was just being agreeable.
Roma, when was the last time you were agreeable?
It's been days.
Also, if you try to poop really hard, sometimes you'll come.
You would think that we'd have our shit together.
It's the enema for your face.
Yeah, I was gonna say cleanings for women.
I'm not a lady, Roma.
Oh, this is so gay.
Let's try to be inclusive, Roma.
What does that even mean?
Real mature, Roma. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 75 of the Sensible Sociopath podcast.
Woohoo!
You know, it's been 3/4 of a century of these podcasts, everyone.
Oh, yeah?
I hope it's been as much fun for you as it has been for us.
Is that how math works?
I mean, I think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Well, you know who knows math?
Who?
Japan, who is also listening to our podcast.
Nice.
So I'd like to say arigato to our Japanese listeners.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Glad to
As
have
well
them
as
on
our-
board.
Yes, exactly. Yes, welcome aboard. Welcome to the allyship. Although I don't like to bring up ships around you. It's a World War II joke, Roma.
I got it.
Let me just send out a message to some of our friends and say, hey guys, join the party. So, Roma, do you feel any different this week?
I think Mercury's in retrograde.
That's exactly what I was talking about.
Was it really?
No. Jeez. No, I was talking about our viewership last week,
Oh, yeah.
which was slightly increased. It was increased to a level that probably not many people would be happy with, but I'm very happy with.
I mean, it was good,
Yes.
you know?
Yes. Yeah. Apparently we've hit the YouTube.
Algorithm.
Yes. Somehow we've hit that. So I don't know if you have to do 74 episodes to get into the algorithm or say a certain amount of words so many times.
Yeah, I don't know. But it was like, oh, shit. Like, what
Yeah.
did we do different?
Yeah, which is awesome. So hopefully that continues. Really what I want to say is we're going to be scaling back any of the truthfulness of this show. We're only going to be pushing certain agendas, if you know what I mean, Roma. You know.
Yeah, rip down the flag.
Don't pay attention to this, YouTube. We're
We got to go mainstream now.
we're all on board. Go Joe.
Go, Joe. I'm with Joe.
I will tolerate a certain amount of malarkey, but not very much. So, yeah. So anyways, we wanted to thank all of our viewers. Daniel, you've been our greatest viewer. Well, Daniel and Sarah and Katrina.
Mhm.
Even if you're a blind viewer, we still appreciate you, but not as much.
We have a lot of listens though that are on just podcasting, audio podcasting.
Yeah. You know, punching out the closed captioning braille.
Hmm.
Ugh,
It's hard.
It's the worst.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Just sit there with a thumbtack.
I forget who it was. Somebody, it was a Democrat. Who's the governor that they tried to kidnap?
Whitmer.
Was that Whitmer?
In Michigan.
Did you see her when she was trying to blame it on Trump? And she had somebody signing behind her, like doing the sign language thing.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the lady that was doing it was freaking epic. The facial expressions and just she was super serious about it.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
was all
yeah.
like worked up, and you could tell she was like upset.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to say that someone that is part of the ASL community is a Democrat? Someone with a disability, Roma?
I don't know,
Someone
but
that
she seemed just as upset as Whitmer was.
perhaps isn't quite as privileged as you are?
This is probably true.
You've got ear privilege, Roma.
Yep. Did you say I have ear privilege?
And hear privilege. And listen privilege.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's true. Although I do have tinnitus pretty bad.
Well, I guess
Wait.
you're all in YouTube's algorithm then.
Yeah, so that gives me some type of like edge up
I mean, I think it's the reason why we're on YouTube still.
because of my tinnitus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be pretty bad.
Yep, it's true. They also think you're a woman.
Shh.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, we want to thank our viewers.
Yes.
And anybody that's viewing us now, please subscribe to the channel.
Yep.
We are hilarious, poignant, rawly sexual. Not with each other, but I mean just in general. You get
What's
that
Raleigh?
vibe. What?
Did you say Raleigh?
Raleigh.
Rolly?
Yeah, Raleigh Fingers. I think he was a baseball player. Had a great mustache.
Okay. I'm just going to go with it.
Yeah. So anyways, no more political stuff, no more dick jokes. Sorry, kids.
Damn it.
Yep. Time to grow up.
It's a penis.
That didn't last long.
No, that clears out the board when I hit that one.
Daniel says, looking great, guys. Steve's checkered jacket and Roma's done up hair. Thank you, Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
He always notices my hair. Like, and I mean,
He's on the spectrum.
oh, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. He's counting the clothes in the dryer as they go around. He finds it soothing. I don't see why.
Oh, yeah.
If you drop a bunch of dryer sheets, he'll count them for you.
I'm going to try that sometime.
Yeah. They call him the gain man.
Come
Come on, Roma.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Oh,
missed
my God. All
the
right.
gain man. The
Show's
gain
over.
man.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. I was reading stuff. We
The
made
washer.
Dan laugh out loud. Sorry.
Yeah. The best joke of the show. So far.
We've got plenty of show left.
Everyone calm down. Yeah. We'll bring it back around.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like we need to go more mainstream now that we've have so many viewers.
Yeah. I mean, I think we really need to talk about environmentalism, Roma.
Okay.
Green New Deal.
Yeah.
You know, we use a lot of lights around here. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking we're going to have to start scaling things back.
Okay. How do we do that? Is there a more natural way to go about it?
You know, Roma, there is.
Oh.
It's called fire. Okay.
It's hard to tell that's a lit candle, but it's a lit candle.
It literally is. It's
Put it
lit
in
as
front of your
fuck.
face.
Oh, was I holding it?
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
I was holding it in front of that. Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Ooh, you can see flickering.
Very
Have you seen those
romantic.
commercials and they go, flicker can cause your eyes strain. If you look at your monitor through your cell phone camera, you can see flicker. I'm like, fire, campfires flicker.
That's true.
I don't think any of the cavemen really complained too much about headaches. They didn't put any cave paintings about it.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Maybe they couldn't tell. But yeah, I think fire is a really great way to, first of all, you can heat areas with it,
Oh, interesting.
which is nice.
Mhm.
You could put a small, let's say a bat. Let's say you're in Wuhan.
Okay.
You wanted to maybe heat up a bat.
Okay. Yeah.
Get a cold bat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a really great option for a natural source of light,
Okay.
source of entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
It also is attractive to the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Women are like moths.
Okay.
I've always said that.
You
Yeah.
do say that a lot.
Yeah, exactly. They're always beige and fluttering about, running into things, dive bombing you when you're wearing a headlamp. You know, women.
Yep. This is something we do.
Absolutely. Yep. Smashing their faces into things.
But weren't I know you were talking about earlier that there was a study done about scented candles being hazardous to your health, specifically children.
Yes. Nice segue. Yeah. So there was a study done that Roma, I think you can pull
I
that up.
pulled something up. I don't know if I
Yeah.
pulled up the actual study.
And yeah, and I wasn't sure if it's 100% yeah, but basically it's about young children and scented I guess
Well, it says
things.
scented candles and air fresheners
Yeah.
are they harmful to your child?
Yeah. And I think it was saying something about up to the age of 3 or somewhere
I
around
don't think
there.
it specifically says that here in this story, but it basically, I found another story as well of a woman whose toddler, I guess he's probably younger than a toddler, a baby, was developing these black spots inside his nose,
Hmm.
and it ended up being, I don't remember if they said it was cancerous or not, but it ended up being from irritation from candles burning.
Interesting.
And on this here, it says scented candles and air fresheners are popular items that many families use inside their homes. They not only help decrease foul smells, blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
Candles and air fresheners contain a wide variety of different chemicals. Very high level exposure to some of these chemicals in a laboratory setting may cause damage on a cellular level, i.e. cancer. This is scary information when read on the surface, but it does not mean that the casual use of these products will cause cancer. There is no credible scientific evidence that supports this link.
Oh, there you go. No study has been done. But it is an interesting thought because if you do think about this, right, this being a possible problem, when we were children, Roma, back in the early 2000s,
Right.
people used to smoke in their houses.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if people still do that. There's a lot less smokers
Very
out there.
rarely.
There's a lot of vapists.
Right. But it says here they release various chemicals into circulating air of indoor environments. Exposure to these chemicals, even in normal situations, can be irritating to the airways, particularly for people with underlying allergies and asthma. These are both common pediatric conditions affecting roughly 20 to 30% of children. Allergies and asthma cause inflammation in the upper and lower airways, which makes them very sensitive.
Which if they were exposed to smoke would be the same.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
it's the new smoking, really. It's the new indoor smoking is scentsy candles. And
so candles really irritate me. They irritate my eyes. They irritate my nose. They irritate
like menorahs or
menorahs.
That's a Jewish joke.
Oh, I didn't get it.
I was saying you're anti-Semitic.
Oh. No, they irritate me. I can and that's one of the reasons I don't burn them. I have a fear of catching things on fire.
Like a werewolf.
Like a werewolf. And
we've been through this.
And they irritate my eyes, my nose, my throat. They make me cough. So that's why I don't use them. I like the smell of them in general, but I also can't wear a lot of perfumes either. I only have a handful of perfumes that I can actually wear.
Yeah, Roma gives me all her perfumes.
Yeah, I do. I have stacks and stacks of perfume, but I can't wear any of it because it'll give me migraines.
Well, and I think that certain people are a lot more sensitive to smell than others. And I think if you don't expose yourselves to smells, you're much more sensitive to it. So if like your house always smells very fragrant,
yes,
even maybe not the same fragrance over and over again,
right,
you're just less sensitive to it, I guess. It's like it turns down the volume.
No, I totally agree. It's just like having animals. I think if you have animals and then it's one thing. If you go to somebody's house and they have animals and you don't have animals, you tend to have allergic reactions.
Okay.
For instance, it's always funny because whenever you date a guy,
yeah, I know.
When you first meet them, they always try to impress you, so they clean their house and light scented candles every time, without fail. You go to a guy's house for the first time, the house is spotless, and there's scented candles lit.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're not sitting here playing video games with scented candles going, but it irritates my like airways and stuff, and so it's.
You'd rather have dirty laundry than
almost. Yeah.
Almost. I mean, you can't have your cake and eat it too. I just came up with that.
Yeah, but so it's just I appreciate the effort, but I
Mhm.
don't like the candles.
And I think it's interesting because when you go to stores and things and you can smell someone that isn't there,
Yes.
like they've gone down an entire aisle and
Mm-hmm.
just crop dusted it,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, oh, Marlboros and cheap perfume.
Ugh, the worst.
Thanks, lady.
The worst.
Yeah. What do you have in your purse? A broken bottle of perfume and an ashtray?
Yeah, no, dude, and it's like I even know people too that they'll like put out a cigarette and put the butt in their pocket. Oh, it makes me want to throw up. It's disgusting, and you can smell it on them.
It's called being an environmentalist, Roma. I don't know. You
Gross.
know? Yeah, it's a terrible thing. And it's funny because you do look at like white privilege, YouTube, and you associate, people's houses smelling good because when you walk into somebody who's got their life together, their house smells nice.
Yeah, I guess so.
I do.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like people with allergies, their houses are wrecks.
Yeah,
They're a fucking mess.
I think that's why I don't like cats and men with cats is
Mhm.
because cats smell, and it makes me feel like it's like cats are trashy to me.
Yeah.
Sorry to all you cat lovers out there, but it's kind of a trashy person animal. They're dirty. They smell weird. Things smell like piss. They scratch things. Like
Sometimes.
they jump up on the counters and stuff. Like it's gross.
Yeah, there are definitely people and cats that are not good. I do like cats because of their self-sufficiency, their intelligence, their emotional connection to me.
Yeah.
Also, I can call on them like a beast master.
You see, cats don't listen that well.
Oh no, they do. Yeah, when you don't feed them,
That's true.
yeah, they listen pretty good. Do my bidding. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But I mean, am I wrong? Aren't cats a trashy person's pet?
Nope.
All right.
Yeah,
Well.
I'm sorry. I prefer cats over dogs.
Well, you are a little trashy.
Well, yeah, I never said that wasn't a thing. That's true. No, I find them to just be better animals. That's because look, there's two types of people, Roma. Straight? No, I'm just kidding.
That's
the-
not true. That's not true. There are so many factions of sexuality now.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. What was I thinking about? No, I can't put it together right now.
Okay.
But with dog people, so dogs are great because they're always happy to see you,
That's true.
unless they're cranky. Nobody likes a cranky dog. And dogs are always happy to see you. They're very predictable. They're very even keeled. They're just, I would say they're simple, but they're more work
Yeah.
because you do have to let them out all the time. It's
Yeah.
like you have to have a schedule.
Yeah.
With a cat, it's kind of the opposite. They're very little work, but they're more challenging
Yeah.
in certain ways. And I think that's it. Is if you want companionship, a cat generally isn't the best because they're not as predictable. They can be shitty. They'll hide when people come over. They'll run away for days. It's just a whole different ball game. With dogs, you're able to go, when I get home, my dog's going to be sitting right there. He's going to be doing this.
Yep.
He's going to be doing this.
Yep.
He's going to be, there's so many predictable attributes of a dog.
Agreed.
And if they poop on your floor, you're like, oh my God, if a cat poops in your hat in the closet up at the top in a box, you're like, I guess he did that, something I did pissed him off. I mean, I did turn off 2.5 Men, but I didn't think he was watching it.
It's true.
He loves
Cats get away with so much shit, dude.
Mhm.
Like if a dog tears up something, they're in trouble. They're shamed. They're all kinds of stuff. If a cat does
What
it,
if it's hate speech?
I don't know. I've never had a dog.
That's where you kind of got to let him go.
But if a cat does something, it's just like, oh, that's cats for you.
Mhm.
No way. I mean, I know people that houses are destroyed by cats. It smells like piss. The fucking cats are bitches. They tear up all their furniture and they're like, oh, I love my cat. I'm like, this is a monster.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
Yeah. I volunteered at a cat shelter.
Oh,
Did I tell you that?
I didn't know you were gay.
Those men wanted to have sex with me.
Bible says two men ought not lay together.
No, I volunteered at a cat shelter. It was part of a college thing, and you had to volunteer somewhere. And so I was just like, oh, let me go there. And it was awesome. There was one cat that hated me and would attack me every time I went in his little room. Because like it was really cool because they each had their own room. Sometimes
Okay.
they'll put two cats in one room, but they were basically the size of like, I don't know, half the size of this studio or something. And they had the cat box and a couple things for them to play on and run around in and stuff. And it was just really cool because so many of them were just so nice and so happy and
Yeah.
you know, would just come press themselves against you. And, you know, you just go in there and play with them.
I
That
mean,
was like
to
your
be
volunteer
fair,
work?
I'm also allergic to cats, so I think it's another reason I don't like them.
All right, Roma. Well, that's a bias of yours.
Hmm.
Okay. So you and your dog privilege. Yeah. But I think look, people that love pets. They're, you know, or people that love one or the other, they're still good people. It's just, I think it just fits your personality type. You know, what type of lifestyle you want. If you have a family, if you have kids, dogs are perfect.
Yeah.
Because dogs are like kids. They're hey, you've got to let your kid outside to piss every now and then, you know, or whatever they do.
Right.
You've got to put your food in the kid bowl, you know. Got to put the kid in the kennel and then put him in the garage. Or you got to leave him in the car with the windows up. I don't know what you do with kids.
You sound like you're doing all right.
Yeah, I mean, I think I got it. I watched Full House. I know what's going on. You bring a couple strange men in.
Good stuff.
Aunt Becky, she's fucking paying off college boards.
Right?
Jodie Sweetin,
Who's Jodie Sweetin?
I think she was the one that did meth.
Speaking of meth, did you see the picture of
Nice segue, Roma. Roma's picking up all my signals.
Did you see the picture of what's his name? Hunter Biden?
Hunter Biden,
Yeah.
yes. Hunter S. Biden.
With the crack pipe in his mouth?
Yeah.
Classic. I'm gonna find it.
Yeah. We're in bad country. 30 miles outside of Barstow when the drugs began to take hold.
There
Get it,
he
Roma?
is.
Hunter S. Biden?
You know you're doing a lot of crack when you fall asleep with a crack pipe in your mouth.
That is the sweetest picture I've ever seen of someone doing drugs.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
That's when you've been up for so many days that even the crack can't keep you awake.
I mean, and that's a really interesting picture because there are no scorch marks on the pillow or the blanket. It's as
That's
if,
a good point.
I mean, I don't know if he was freebasing on the pillow.
Right.
Seems like
He's covered
you'd
up,
sit up.
But I almost wonder if somebody covered him up, the person
That's
that took
what
the
I think.
picture.
Yep, I think somebody put a pillow under his head and put a blanket on him, and maybe they put the pipe in his mouth.
I mean, I guess it's possible.
Yeah, or he just had it in their mouth, and he's like, ugh.
But it's like, why was the crack pipe there?
You know, I bet you that looks like a Trump hotel to me. Looks like they lured him in.
Give him some chamomile tea. Little sleepy time tea.
A heavy dose of, yep.
Yeah.
That milk was so warm.
Sleepy Joe's chamomile tea.
Yes, exactly. Puts you right down. Full of barbiturates.
But, you know, I mean, maybe he's just, they say addiction, people are usually just self-medicating. I mean,
Yeah.
what if he's got ADHD?
I mean, we were talking about this earlier. There's a lot of people in our society, Roma, that are not as they don't focus as easily.
Right.
And so here's the thing. He's a big executive, okay?
Mhm.
He is, you know, to be pulling down 83,000 a year, I mean a month
Mhm.
from
A year.
yeah, from Ukrainian energy firms.
Yes.
That
Seems
would have no
legit.
reason to be politically influenced
No.
or influential.
Mm-mm.
What? That's crazy. I mean, sure, he has to learn Ukrainian and has to figure out what energy chairmans do. Boards of,
In between, you know, the hookers and crack.
No. The crack helps him learn.
Ah,
That's what it is. So
got it.
when you're hitting Rosetta Stone as hard as this guy was,
Yeah,
because I mean, you get the job and you lied on the job application.
right.
Nothing wrong with that. Okay, look, you just misrepresent a few things
Mm-hmm.
about who your father is and
Mhm.
about how much money they have to pay you. You know, those sorts of things.
Sure,
But
we
the
all do it.
point is, he's trying to make himself better.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about if your dad is the current vice president. It's not about if emails directly link you and paid off sums of money and 10 million to the vice president of the United States. It's not about that, Roma.
No.
It's not about if then the next people that come in, the FBI is involved and, you know, they try to pin some Russia hoax on things, you know, and this ironic thing about the Ukraine. It's just hilarious that someone would think that any political figure would be involved in anything nefarious with the Ukraine. You know? Where do they get this idea?
I don't know.
It's crazy.
It is pretty crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, like, okay, Rudy Giuliani, so his lawyer happened to have this hard drive that the FBI received last year. I mean, I'm sure they were putting together a case on this right now. They're probably investigating it, you know, and then waiting for their retirement to
Right.
pass it to the next guys who would investigate.
I'm just really excited about the pictures that came out, though.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah. And I mean, how many pictures were on that? I think I heard like 1,000.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, you know, how many pictures do you have on your phone?
Like
you know,
1,000
Yeah.
of Joe Biden and Hunter Biden doing things that are totally legal.
So, I mean, I think it's understandable, especially like as you were putting it, if he was trying to learn other languages and stuff, especially if you have ADHD. I mean,
Yeah.
Ritalin might just, or Adderall even might not have cut it.
Yeah. Well, you see, there's the Broca's area of the brain and the Wernicke's area of the brain, as you well know. And both of them would be the speech centers of the brain.
Okay.
When you freebase cocaine
Mm-hmm.
into those areas of the brain,
Mm-hmm.
lights them right up.
I believe that.
Cat scans. Yep. Cat scans. Not
Um,
dog scans. Cat scans, Roma.
I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, this is the biggest probably political, I don't know, upset or not really upset because the upset hasn't happened yet.
Well, I mean,
But-
there is no upset because the left, the mainstream media is on Biden's side, so they're not even
Mhm.
reporting on it.
As we are,
As are we?
and YouTube. Yep.
Mhm.
We're all on the same team, YouTube.
Yep.
Wait. Yeah, so it's funny because once this story broke, Twitter and Facebook both like shut it down
Yeah.
completely.
And they banned, or they locked out the New York Post.
They locked out the New York Post, which is the 4th largest newspaper and the oldest newspaper, older than the New York Times.
Yep.
Yeah, they locked their Twitter. They also the presidential Kayleigh McEnany.
McEnany.
Yeah,
McAlaley.
something. Yeah, she's
Ukulele?
awesome though.
Yeah.
But the
Very
White House
pretty.
spokesman or presidential, what is it?
Yeah, I think she's the White House spokesman.
Yeah. She speaks for the president.
Yeah.
So she
Yeah, they,
had her Twitter shut down.
yeah,
It's
they
like,
locked her Twitter too.
it's like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, you're treading on some very dangerous territory. And I guess Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, apologized, but they didn't fix anything.
Right.
And you know, there's the Section 230 reform or Section 230, which protects different media, you know, social media platforms
Mm-hmm.
from being sued for things such as comments and like defamation and all that stuff that are
Right.
placed on it. But that is to say that they are not editorializing
Which
the
when
content
they're shutting down things, and clearly they are.
based upon not so hard to draw lines.
Mm-hmm.
such as politics or, I think they've been able to kind of skirt it in certain situations, but it's like, this is ridiculous. Oh, we need to fact check this. All right. Well, when all of those other stories came out about Russia, about, taxes, about all those things, did one of those stories get stopped
Yeah.
for a verification accuracy check? No.
Not one.
So it's a very messy situation. This is the if somebody's been waiting for a crescendo to things, we're getting close.
You think so?
If this isn't the tipping point, I feel like there's a lot of people that are going to be what they call red pilled by these sorts of events.
Yeah.
Because they're going to watch, not only are they going to watch what happens, but they're more going to watch the reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things that's interesting to me is watching the reaction of the people that are trying to control the situations. Because if you think about social media and you think about, the mainstream media, all of these things, the people who are trying to change rules, the people who are trying to like hide information and do all these things, they're the ones who are losing. And they're the ones who are at highest risk of losing. And because like there's no reason to cheat if you don't have a reason to cheat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I hope that people see that and people realize that, because, you can go, oh, Trump's not this and Trump's that. And he said this and he said that. Okay, great. He's bombastic. He's whatever he is, he's whatever you may not like about him. However, he is not the one that is trying to hide information from you and trying to,
But you would never know that because the mainstream media says the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody that's not watching the news outside of headlines that are popping up on Google have no idea.
Yeah. But I think it's hard to avoid, because the New York Post, okay, they make funny headlines. I like the New York Post. I happen to. I also happen to like the New York Times for certain things they do. There's so many of their writers and editors and everything that are so leftward that I can't believe anything that they say because they are so invested in their position.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
When I look at the New York Post, they're not invested in a position.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want out of a journalist.
I heard somebody recently say that they were very not on the fence, but they didn't really have a horse in the race.
They're kind of centrist,
Yeah, centrist. That's
they
the word for it.
They are conservative for New York standards. From the New York Times, they're the conservative paper.
Yeah, okay.
Which is fine, but they're not. They still run ads. They still run whatever about Trump, but it's not like.
I mean, I'm all for just as long as the a fair playing field, but it's not.
And that's it. Is I just want people to look at things objectively and go, okay, what's worse? Should we go with the side that is, maybe the leader is a little bit, over the top and a little bit bombastic, a little bit, but he's got a lot better, honestly. He may embellish things and say that these things are the greatest things, and maybe they're not
tremendous,
quote unquote, the greatest things, but they're pretty good. He's not lying about their goodness. Maybe just the level of goodness compared to, I don't know, a cure for cancer.
Right.
So, one of the, and you have the other side that is railroading information to gain power and control and maintain power and control. And the biggest thing that the American people ever did was elect Trump. The biggest thing to turn this whole thing around. And
the thing is that nobody likes him because he's not a politician. He's not already in the game. They can't control him. And so I think that's when, you get the never Trumpers, and then, the left hates him, and, you get the rhinos and stuff, and he's just not part of that game, and they can't control him. They don't have dirt on him and, political dirt. And so it really makes people upset.
Yeah, because he's not been in a position where he's like, oh, well, I'm not going to be at the top, so I don't have to worry about this. I can go to Epstein Island. I can do all this stuff, whatever. I need to get that power, because that's I think that's what people do when they get involved in those types of scandals. They're trying to gather power, you know, by being with these people and going and sacrificing children or doing whatever they do. You know, dog people. Um,
Lighting
but
scented candles in infants' rooms.
exactly,
Yep.
yeah, just sitting there.
Terrible.
So many scented candles. So, and he is too rich, kind of like you're saying, to influence him with money.
Right.
You know, it's like Trump's losing money by being in office. Biden's making money by sending his son over there like a. I mean, really, he's no wonder his son's using drugs. His dad's using him to vacuum money out of the freaking ex-Soviet Union. It's
Well, and like Biden's a career politician. That's how he's always made his money, you know? So he has to keep power or else. And it's like trying to climb the corporate ladder to make more money, except for you're in politics. You just to try to get more and more power.
yeah. And that's really the name of the game. And that's what globalization is all about. You know, when you're trying to keep things in your country to benefit your, you know, the people in your country, that's different than trying to make these shady deals all over the fucking world, screwing people over, wars, all this stuff. You know, it's like if you're aware of, hey, you know, we're gonna end up going to war with Syria, or we're gonna do this, or we're gonna do that. Hey, you know how Russia's messing with you? Hey, how about we back you up? You just you know, kick a little over, you know. And what's funny is some of the where that prosecutor, remember when Biden said that thing about the prosecutor? So I went over there and I said, well, I do speak for the president.
Right.
And you won't get your $1 billion if you don't have this guy investigated or get him off the case.
And wouldn't you know, the guy got fired.
Well, and guess who he was investigating? The company, Burisma? Yeah, something like that. The head of that.
Yeah.
That hired Hunter Biden.
Yep.
For $83,000 a month.
Yeah.
With a 10, you know, whatever.
And he magically disappeared.
And then after Biden got out of office, suddenly the charges were back on and he skipped town. So
yeah,
it's pretty crazy. Oh yeah. So it's a
yeah, it's you know, but that's politics. And that's, once again, you know, Trump's an outsider, and so he doesn't play that game. And so, you know, the establishment hates him because he's not in on the joke, you know, he's not in on whatever it is that they do in order to get power and keep power because, you know, I mean, he's a rich guy and he's like, I'm going to be president. And so now he's president and he's like, okay, well, I'm going to like try to make America great again, God forbid, you know, and it's not according to their plans.
And yeah, and it would never be, because they would never want America great. They would want America dependent on the rest of the world. You know, they don't want, you know, and that's the thing that scares me about Biden winning, which he has the opportunity to win. And look, and I'm not trying to convince someone of something that isn't true. What I'm trying to do is tell you to go with your gut. If you feel like you're being lied to, and that here's the thing. I used to agree with Democrats when it was like free speech and people, you know, gay people should get married and that kind of stuff. That's fine. I agree with those things.
Yeah,
whatever, you know,
socially
whatever.
liberal.
I agree, or I can tolerate those things because I don't care. But to the point where it's not about that anymore, and they you know, I feel that irreparable damage to our American system will come. Packing the courts. You know, if we pack the Supreme Court with 15 judges, then that just takes the first of all, the balance of power away. You know, between look, I don't care if there are 5 Democrat, you know, judges. And first of all, judges shouldn't be activists. Just like journalists shouldn't be activists, but they all are. That's the unfortunate part, you know. And when you look at ACB, she is, yes, she's a Catholic woman. She is, you know, has her
belief systems.
Yes, but
Well,
she is not unreasonable. She is not voting based upon her, like I
belief
believe
systems. I mean, well, basically when they were doing the is it a hearing? Is that what it's called?
a confirmation hearing or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
They kept asking her questions to try to gotchas, and
Mhm.
she's like, I would have to see the case. The
Mhm.
case is in front of me. I'm a judge. I have to judge according to the evidence that is given to me. I can't do it on some circumstantial, idea of.
Yeah.
And so I think that kind of frustrated the left because they're like, do you believe in, would you uphold Roe versus Wade? And she's like, I would need to see the arguments for
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
and
Because yes or no is the answer,
well, and depending on what it means for the Constitution and stuff. And
Mhm.
so, anyways, it's just really, it's just really the way she handled it was very, I don't want to say diplomatic, but judgy.
Yeah. No, totally.
Like a judge should handle it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about judges is it's like you look at them and um, oh, this guy's a bad judge. Oh, every time he does this every time. No judge should do this every time.
Mhm.
What a judge should do is sit and evaluate, like, so if you've got a speeding ticket and somebody goes, oh, the judge is going to, when you go there, they don't give anybody there. And you go, okay, well, here you go, judge. I have irritable bowel syndrome and I'm pregnant. I identify as a woman. And so if you go to that judge should go, I believe you.
Right.
I'm going to, let you off. Keep a towel in your car.
They have portable toilets,
Yeah.
that you can buy.
They're called dog houses. Oh!
I don't know if it was really that great of a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what a judge should do. A judge is paid for their good judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Are they not?
Mhm.
So the fact is that no judge should get ahead in life if they are an activist.
Right.
No district attorney should. No lawyers should.
Well, and I think there's a difference though between, your standard judge and a judge on the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court judges are supposed to judge things according to the Constitution.
As all judges should, though,
True.
right? Yeah.
True. But
But
I
they
guess,
are the ultimate,
yeah, I guess because I feel like there's more nuances. So like you made that, if you're speeding, you're guilty, period, in a story.
Mhm.
If you're speeding, you have irritable bowel syndrome, then it could be like, okay, well, you were guilty for speeding, but I'm going to let you off because, this was an extenuating circumstance.
Sure.
Whereas I think a Supreme Court judge is not supposed to do that.
Yeah. And I could see that is if you're setting a precedent for the rest of everyone,
Yes.
that would be
Because if you were
Yeah.
an activist, that would be
your foot in the door
yes.
to get. Yeah. Okay. I do agree. I concede that, Roma.
Mm-hmm. So,
Mhm.
but yes, I mean, they're supposed to judge the well, what is it? Is it the jurors judge the law? No. Yes?
Mm,
So like juries can decide whether or not a law is even fair. So say like you get charged with
being
smoking
too
pot,
cool. Oh, okay.
smoking pot, and you can judge whether or not that is even a fair law. I think. Am I crazy?
So,
I'm going to see if I can find it.
yeah. I don't know. I haven't done any jury trials.
Well, they wouldn't tell you that because they say that you have to judge the person according to the laws, but you
Mhm.
can judge whether or not a law is just.
Yeah. Well, and I think, so the legislature creates laws. And then the, executive branch, which would be the president, Justice Department, judges, law enforcement, of course.
This says a juror is a group of people empowered to make findings of fact. During a court trial, the jury decides the truth of disputed facts while the judge decides the rules of law. including whether particular evidence will be presented to the jury.
Okay. So basically, the jury, whether it's been proven or not proven, whether circumstances, I guess, so the prosecutor comes up with the case, the jury does whether or not it's been proven or not proven, and then the judge doles out punishment, because a jury can find someone guilty, but a judge can, suspend a sentence, or,
Right.
they can, I guess, see what the punishment would be. Yeah.
I'm going to look that up and bring it to the show next time, because
Yeah.
I swear that jurors have the ability to judge the fairness of a law to begin with.
Well, I mean, a law is a law put in place by the legislature. So, but we live in a constitutional republic. So we hire representatives to create laws for us. And, I guess we do vote on laws. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah. We're none of us are lawyers. We should have talked to Brandon about this.
Oh, I bet you he knows.
Yeah, maybe we could get him Skyped in, Skype, Zoom, LinkedIn. Do you want to give a shout out to the people that are here today?
Yeah. Let's see.
I think I saw Daniel and Sarah and Margot and Steve,
Cat.
Katrina.
Um.
And if you're watching the show and you'd like to live chat with us, you can chat with us live. Turns out.
In the live chat.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Roma.
Hmm.
Did you hear that thing about that Hunter Biden said?
I don't
It's
think.
like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But
That's,
yeah, so hopefully people vote with their hearts and their minds, and want to keep America, the free and great place that it is.
So, speaking of meth, I've got a story here. Pastor allegedly admits to performing exorcism on child and doing meth with parishioners.
At the same time?
I guess.
Wow.
A toddler is in the hospital as a result of an attempted exorcism, police say. A pastor under investigation.
He wasn't even successful. Gee, oh,
I don't-
wow.
I don't know if he was successful or not.
You
he
should
looked-
show the picture of him.
Oh, whoops. I thought I transitioned. Sorry. He looks like he might be on meth.
I mean, look, Roma, let's just say periwinkle backdrops are not good for anyone. Show the picture. The old periwinkle backdrop. And, would it kill him to give him some prison garb that maybe wasn't overwashed?
I'm surprised they still do the black and white stripes.
Perhaps some color safe bleach?
This, let's see.
Yeah, who is he, the Hamburglar?
Right. A pastor under investigation in a child abuse case after allegedly attempting an exorcism on a toddler was arrested in Arkansas last week on drug charges. Lloyd Eddie Lasker Jr., that is way too long of a name.
LELJ.
49 was arrested on charges of possession of a controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of a gun by a convicted felon.
Wow.
Uh,
So I don't know if you should really label him as a pastor first. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's the lesser of his qualifications.
Yeah, it seems that way. The arrest comes 4 days after police were called to Lasker's church, the House of Refuge and Deliverance, in Mayflower, Arkansas, on September 18th. Conway Police Detective Brittany Little said it's an affidavit filed in Faulkner County Circuit Court that upon arriving at the church, she discovered a 21-month-old with multiple bruises from head to toe, according to the Kansas City Star.
All right, Roma, if you ever caught just punching a child when you're all hopped up on meth and have a gun and you're a felon, tell him you're a
doing an
pastor
exorcism.
and tell him that you're doing an exorcism.
Little said that in the affidavit that the toddler had been admitted to the hospital and had a brain bleed and extreme malnourishment. Jesus. This isn't as funny as I thought.
Roman, what a feel-good story. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
As police conducted their investigation into the alleged abuse, they sought Lasker to ask about the child. On September 22nd, members of the department's drug task force attempted to reach Lasker at the residence, but the pastor was not home. An incident report obtained by People states. The officers found Lasker's truck at a gas station in town, discovering 4 grams of meth, as well as paraphernalia for smoking it in his truck, according to the incident report.
I think that's a lot of meth.
I don't know. Is that a lot of meth?
I think so. I think an what is it, an eighth bag, as the kids say, of weed is 3.5 grams. I
Okay.
believe. So,
It's a lot heavier, though.
yeah, that's probably true. Well, it's not heavier. It's the same weight, but
Well, I guess I mean like
more dense. Yeah.
more dense.
The
that's
mass.
what-
Yeah. But still, I think like if you're going pound for pound on getting you high, I would think meth would get you higher than weed, gram for gram.
I don't know. I don't know, but I know you can get high off a very small amount of meth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Roman knows.
Meth is we were talking about it earlier. It's like you don't ever do just a little bit of meth. Like you can, but meth is instantly sketchy. Like the moment you decide like, hey, I'm going to do some meth, you're instantly in sketchy situations.
Yeah, your hands start sweating, get all
It's just
skitzed out.
it's
Yeah.
not even that. It's the people that you have to be around in order to procure the meth to do the meth.
I mean, like you can go to church and get meth.
Apparently.
Yep.
This is true.
Yeah, it's like a Eucharist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is true.
Roma, you're just hanging out with the wrong people, okay?
Apparently.
You need to go to Faulkner County and find Pastor LELJ.
I've got another priest story here. Priest arrested for obscenity for allegedly having sex on church altar with 2 women. So this guy,
The Lord is good.
check him out.
I mean, he looks like a downsy Tom Brady.
I don't know what's going on there.
Why are his eyebrows so wide?
And that's good.
You think?
Is that his mugshot, or
you
is
think he
that like
microblades them?
his church bulletin board shot?
Yeah, it's like his eyebrow line is like a perfect isosceles triangle. You see down the nose, it's like upside
Yeah,
down there. You
yes,
see that?
yes.
It's like perfect. I'd be
A Louisiana
mesmerized.
priest was arrested for allegedly recording himself having sex with 2 dominatrixes
Oh,
on
that's awesome.
on the altar of his church. The priest, Reverend Travis Clark, the adult film actress Mindy Dixon, 41, and 23-year-old Melissa Chenge. The Catholic priest was reportedly caught in the act.
Oh my God. Whoever this Mindy Dixon lady is, I like her. Yeah,
That's
I like his
pretty.
taste in women.
Yeah, you like her?
Yeah, I like those like trashy looking.
Like the dark, like
yeah.
gothy
Mm-hmm.
girls.
That's nice. I mean, I'm a fan of Travis Clark.
The details in the obscenity arrest emerged from police reports stating that Reverend Travis Clark, 37, was caught when somebody passing by the church lights and reportedly filmed the clergyman through a window. The events were allegedly also being filmed by the parties involved. Documents say that the passerby said the priest was on the altar, half naked, but partly wearing his priestly attire, accompanied by 2 women in corsets with sex toys, stage lighting, and cameras on tripods. The person took cell video through the windows and called Pearl River, Louisiana police, who viewed the footage and arrested the group on suspicion of having sex in a publicly visible place, according to the police documents.
Okay, first of all, those lights were for mass. Secondly, those tripods and cameras were for the youth pastors. Okay, they make YouTube videos and TikToks. All right. We got shit happens when party naked. I smoked crack with Biden in 2002.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell
Which
yeah.
one, Hunter S. Biden or Joe Biden? Joey B.
Joe from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yes, he's a old regular guy Joe
Yep.
living in his mansion.
Good old Joe.
Never had a job in his life. Yep. He's with the people. Oh, he was a lifeguard. Sorry. Him and Corn Pop.
That's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
Can't forget about Corn Pop.
Good old Corn Pop.
Corn Pop was a tough hombre.
Yep. I think he's a dog-faced pony soldier. Dog-faced lying pony soldier? Is that what
Yeah.
he called him?
You're a lion, dog-faced pony soldier.
That's what it is.
No, that was a woman. He called a woman that.
Okay.
He said, you ever been to a caucus? She's all, uh-huh. He's like, you're a lion, dog-faced pony soldier. And
That's
just kept
awesome.
going. It's like, she's like, I'm at your whatever this thing is.
Rally. I
Rally.
guess?
Yeah, exactly. I'm at your rally. I'm an overweight woman. You're not allowed to say that.
Then he called the other guy fat.
Yeah. Hey, fat.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, Roma, I really respect this man of the cloth
Yeah.
for getting pegged. I hope he was getting pegged.
It sounds like he was.
I mean, they would have probably said that. It was probably leading to it. You know? I mean, when you got two dominatrixes hovering around you, you're
Yeah.
going to get pegged.
Probably.
Yeah. One of them's going to grab you.
Yep.
The other one's going to grease you. You're like, what's going on? Oh, no. I'm too far in. Yeah, no, that's great, Roma.
I mean, those were both this week. I thought it was great.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Or within the last couple weeks. These are new stories.
I'm glad you went with this second story second.
Yeah.
Because LELJ, I mean, he's not as fun.
No, he wasn't as fun, but I thought it was funny that he was on crack or meth.
Yeah.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the video of the guy getting attacked by the mountain lion? It's all over the internet. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh, that reminds me. I almost got attacked by a mountain lion. But
You did?
I'll show you the picture.
Okay. Hold on.
Hold on for one more day.
Roma, you getting 2 bagels tomorrow morning? Actually, I only got 1 bagel today, so.
Wow. That's
But yeah, today was a bagel day, and I thought about you too, naked, because not you too naked. Shit happens when you party naked. I thought about you because I went and got a bagel today, and I didn't get 2, and I was like, I wanted to say something about it to you, but I didn't. But you brought it up, so now I am.
yeah. He's got a sense of bagels.
Yeah.
Shit happens when you party naked has a sense of bagels. It's bagel sensibilities.
No, 1 bagel. I know.
Yeah, Roma doesn't have a cool nickname anymore. Roma half as good as she used to be. Bagel.
I don't know. I just wasn't I wasn't in the mood for a sweet one. I just got
I'm glad you went savory.
I just got a savory bagel. Yeah.
Not every day's a celebration, Roma.
It was a lox spread with all the veggies plus capers.
Wow.
It was dang.
Yeah. I'm a fan of capers in tartar sauce.
I like capers.
In tartar sauce?
Yeah, pretty much everything.
Mm,
I mean, not like pudding, chocolate pudding, but
I mean, vanilla,
anything that
sure.
it's appropriate in, I'm a fan of.
Did you know that tapioca is actually capers? They're bleached capers.
She'll always be 2 bagels to me. Oh, thanks. That's really sweet.
She
Okay.
can take you for bagels. She's always 2 bagels to me. Whoa. Little Billy Joel for y'all there.
He goes, when I'm a guest on the show, I want to talk about capers exclusively for the first 45 minutes.
The secret
Done.
is not rinsing them.
Yeah.
Then you just eat salty ass capers.
I don't ever rinse them. Why would you rinse them?
Roma, they're pre-rinsed.
Oh. So do you want to see this guy? So this guy was out hiking. I forget where it was at though. And he came upon 2 what he thought were cats in the woods. Turned out they were cougar or mountain lion cubs. And this cat came out and like chased them off for 6 minutes.
A house cat?
It was a mountain lion.
Oh.
But this is just a short snippet of it.
Okay.
I can't believe he had the wherewithal to freaking film it. But here, take a look at this.
Yeah.
Go away! No! No! You, dude! Holy...
6 minutes.
Dude. Okay.
And that's why I don't walk without a gun.
Right?
Absolutely. It's always funny to me that people go out in the wilderness without firearms.
I mean, depending on what you come across, though, it might do a whole lot of nothing.
Go to the Drive, Google Drive, and pull up the picture that I just loaded, Roma.
Okay.
Because I was on a walk and I did have a firearm, thankfully. You can go within Google, within Chrome.
Oh, I can go within Google.
Yeah. Just go up to those little dots next to, yep, there you go.
Got it.
So
This right here?
yes. So I was walking and I always carry a firearm and I was almost attacked by a puma, turns out. And I mean, I'm not a zoologist, okay?
That's a
But
puma?
I believe it is, yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Bring it up there. Keep going.
I'm pretty sure that's not a puma.
No, I didn't know you were Sir Robert
I don't know what that
Attenborough.
is, but I think the legs are too short.
No. Those leaves are really big.
Oh.
Yeah, the leaves around it are really
Because the
big.
leaves kind of throw you off.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean,
It's like a
look,
ferret, one of those ferret pumas, or
fair enough. It could be a panther. Might be a black panther that appears dark brown.
was it alive?
I mean,
He
mostly.
He doesn't look alive.
No, it was very ferocious. It was snarling. Did you see what the cat did there in the video where it was like doing the thing and it
Yeah.
was doing that? It did that
Huh.
a few times.
Yeah.
Probably.
I could see that from that
You know,
picture.
Its ears were cropped back. It was snarling.
So when did you see this?
That was just a few days ago. I was like, my life flashed before my eyes. And I was like, wow, I'm awesome. There's so many cool things that I've just seen. Wish I wasn't about to die at the hands of this ferocious puma.
Daniel says it's a rodent of unusual size. I don't think they exist. I don't know what that means. I don't know, but he looks like he'd make a good hat.
Yeah. Cat hat.
Cat hat.
Yeah. I mean, look, I pet him.
Mm-hmm.
I happen to have, here's what I didn't know. That I happen to have, my bag was full of puma nip.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was your
so
first mistake.
he was pawing at it
Mm-hmm.
playfully.
Yep.
Yeah.
Noted. Don't go out in the wilderness
Mm-hmm.
with puma nip.
Puma nip.
Puma nip.
Roma, you act like it's not a colloquial thing. Something we all talk about all the time. The Princess Bride.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in the chat room. I haven't been following.
Yep. Shit happens wants to steal Daniel away from us.
No. So, let's see. Actually, I've got more.
More Puma related stories,
I do,
Roma?
actually. I'm trying to find them.
I don't see how you could come up with a better Puma story than I was almost killed by one.
Oh,
and then I
I've got a pretty
befriended
good
it.
one. Mountain lion versus man with chainsaw.
All right, this sounds pretty good.
Dustin Britton, a 32-year-old mechanic and ex-Marine from Windsor, Colorado, was cutting firewood near his campsite in Shoshone National Forest west of Cody when he saw a 100-pound mountain lion staring at him from behind some bushes. It pounced and Britton immediately defended himself with the chainsaw.
Mm.
It battled me 4 or 5 times with his front paws, and as quick as I hit it with that saw, it just turned away, he said in a telephone interview. You would think if you hit an animal with a chainsaw, it would dig right in. I might as well have hit it with a hockey stick. The
Hmm.
chainsaw left a 6-inch gash on the cougar, and Brighton, is it Brighton or Brighton, took a puncture wound to the forearm. The mountain lion retreated but was killed after it attacked a dog wildlife officials were using to track the lion down. Upon examination, the researchers determined that the cougar was sick and possibly starving, which might explain its uncommon level of aggression.
I was going to say starving is probably, that's weird that both of these guys, I mean, the first guy, the cubs, so I could understand, but I mean, 6 minutes of
Yeah.
following you and attacking you, that's a long time for something defending its young
Yeah.
to not go, hey, like, I get it, you're pissed.
I thought, yeah, it seems like an unusually long amount of time, but at the same time, I think if he wanted to eat him, he totally would have. Because the way he was like, I read an article where somebody was saying the cat wasn't trying to eat him because if he was, he wouldn't even known he was there. He's like, basically, this woman said, she's a wildlife person, and she said, if you can see the cat, like you're aware of the cat there, it's not stalking you.
Yeah. But what started out as a get the hell out of here, because that is a frontal assault. If you're the mom of cubs, you're just getting in between, right? You're not you're not sneaking around, at that point. You're not using your cubs as bait. She just was a negligent mother, as so many are. And she would have, if he would have run for it and turned his back like an animal would have latched on and grabbed him behind the neck and broken his neck, probably.
The person that was in that article said he did all the right things, make himself big, be loud, and then
don't turn your back.
Don't turn your back.
Yep.
And he did end up, like, once they were kind of further apart, like threw some rocks at it to kind of further dissuade it.
Or
yeah. Yeah, I think it was like, what was it, 4 grams or something?
Yeah, at least 4 grams is what you want. LGLJ.
Yep.
LELJ. But this guy with the chainsaw. So chainsaws are not great unless you have somebody handcuffed in a shower.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see.
You a communist?
So, but I think with the chainsaw, animals have that thick fur. So like a mountain lion going through heavy brush, thorns, stuff like that. That's what their coat is for. And I think that their cats have kind of loose skin as it is, kind of like dogs. And so I'm sure whatever dragging, eating, clawing the
because chainsaws aren't actually sharp necessarily. I mean, they are, but it's links, you know, and the links themselves aren't like super sharp. It's just the grinding motion. And so, like, for instance, I have something to grind glass, and it's got like diamond, what do you call it? Sandpapery, whatever on it. But if I touch it, doesn't hurt me. But it goes through glass super fast. So I think it's probably a similar effect.
Like like Hunter Biden. Glass.
Yeah.
It's a meth joke.
Good one.
Thanks.
I do have another story, mountain lion story.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Trail runner kills mountain lions with bare hands after it attacks him.
Bare hands? BEAR?
With his bare hands.
Oh. I was going to say, that doesn't sound too hard.
Let's see. So, the trail runner who killed a mountain lion with his bare hands has come forward.
Okay, hold on. So, there's the chainsaw guy. He's a mountain man. He's an ex-Marine. He's got a chainsaw, and he can't kill the mountain lion. Then you got Mr. Tofu here, trail running, jogging with his
Yep.
short shorts. All right, well, we'll see how this Civil War goes.
At a press conference, Travis Kaufman, 31, described his experience. I ended up hearing some pine needles rustle, a stick break, and I turned around and was pretty bummed out to see a mountain lion chasing after me. The mountain lion locked onto his hand and wrist and began to claw him across the face and neck. Kaufman went on to recount how he wrestled with the cat and tried hitting it with a rock before finally managing to get a foot on its neck and strangle it to let go. So he strangled it to death.
Yeah. That's what I mean, honestly, it's so funny because, like, you see, all those great videos of children being attacked by dogs?
Oh, I can't even watch them.
Yeah, it's
They're
not great.
horrifying.
But, so what you have to do is pick the child up. That's what I've learned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what you do?
Yes. The people who are successful at getting a child away from a dog
Uh-huh.
don't try to stop the dog. They try to take the child out of the dog's reach.
Oh, okay.
Because generally the dog will just keep attacking the child, but not attack the adult
Right.
for whatever reason. And even if it does, well, you're an adult. Get the child on top of a car or
Right.
something, do something. But it's just interesting because, like, so many people don't just, like, I would lock a dog up like in a guillotine choke.
Yeah.
Where I don't care what happens. I'm going to choke you to death.
Yes.
I'm not going to let you go. You're going to die.
Yes.
Sorry. But people just chase the dog around in circles while it's dragging a kid around or
Yeah.
whatever. It's like, nope, I don't know. And that's why you carry a firearm also. So the other thing is carrying a firearm is more for dogs and
Oh, absolutely.
things that you cannot stop.
I actually one time was out walking with a friend of mine who carries regularly, and it was late, and we were taking the dog for a walk, and we were on a street with no sidewalks. It was a back street, so there wasn't traffic or anything.
Were there any boys?
No.
Backstreet Boys?
No.
Sorry.
No. But so we're walking, and next thing you know, this pit bull comes out of nowhere. And so it's me, it's him, and our dog, which our dog was like a pit bull mix, but wasn't very pitty, just kind of maybe like a lab pit bull mix.
Mhm.
Anyways, and the pit bull starts stalking us and gets really close. And so we're thinking, uh-oh, dog fight. Well, he was stalking me. The dog had its sight on me. And so my friend that I was with started yelling at him, like big aggressive, like, get back, no,
Yeah,
no,
get back,
no.
honky cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was yelling so loud that the owner actually came out of the house and was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is going on? But meanwhile, he had his hand on his gun. He was
Yeah.
he's like, you have no idea how close I was to shooting that dog. Because if that dog would have lunged for
If it
you,
would've
he'd be
moved.
dead. Absolutely. And
I'd plug a dog so quick. Oh my God.
and the guy that came out of the house was a total dick, and he was like, oh, what's going on? And he's like, dude, your dog is trying to fucking attack us. And he's like, he said something like, well, then stay off the streets. And we were like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you fucking psycho. Yeah, this dog was totally like very like aggressive stance, ears back.
Yeah.
It was pretty scary.
Yeah,
But at the same
absolutely.
time, I realized we have a gun. Thank God.
Thank God.
Because it was a big dog.
Yeah. I bet you the guy that saw the two kitties playing and went, oh, hey, guys, let me save these two cats.
Yeah.
I bet you he carries a gun next time.
I bet you
I
he will
bet you
too.
he does. 100%.
Yeah.
Because once you do that, that's the thing is that people that don't believe in the Second Amendment have just not been in that position yet. That's what it is. They feel like they're safe and they feel like everybody's going to watch out for me and everything's fine. We live in civilization until you don't.
Until shit goes down.
Yes.
Well, it's
until there is a, 80, 100-pound pit bull going, oh, wait, I'm by myself.
Yep.
And I guess I could put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
That'll help, right? Somebody will help me, won't they?
Well, it's and then case in point too, the riots started and gun sales went through the roof because people were like, oh shit, there's no cops.
Yeah.
And they're burning places down.
Mhm.
And they were saying some of the biggest sellers were amongst Democrats and liberals.
Yeah.
People that were probably, anti-gun
Mhm.
or all for gun control until it's on your doorstep and you're like, oh crap.
And that's exactly what we have to keep in mind when we vote also is, yes, you may have beliefs in certain ways that that you have to protect certain things that are, progressive ideals and all that stuff. What's more important is that we keep the means of protecting our freedom of speech and our freedom from tyranny, because both of those things are at risk.
Of course. I think
And
they're always at risk, but right now it's particularly bad.
and the only reason we have freedom of speech is because we are free of tyranny. And, they go hand in hand. There is no separating one and two. There
Mm-hmm.
is no separating them, because as we can see with Facebook and Twitter and all that, and the media as it is, they will silence you. They will
Mm-hmm.
silence you. You will have no voice. You will have no vote. You will have no impact on the things that really matter, and the agendas will be pushed directly on you,
Mm-hmm.
no matter how you feel. And that's another thing is, so if you're listening to us from an area that is highly populated and very liberal and progressive and all that stuff, look, that's great. I'm happy that you live in a progressive place. I hope that you can see what happens to those places over time: taxes, crime, homelessness, drug addiction, all of those things, quality of life. But the problem is if you get rid of your rights, if you don't have the right to protect yourself and you don't have the right to speak freely, then your life is going to be not your life, but the life of your children. The
Mm-hmm.
life of everyone is going to be significantly altered for the rest of time, because you don't get those things back.
Mm-hmm.
We had a handful of extremely brave people create this country, brave and brilliant, and people who looked at the entirety of civilization, of politics, of oligarchies and patriarchies and all these things, and look at the good and the bad, and how do we prevent the bad from corrupting the good, which is exactly what they wanted to prevent. And so far we've done a pretty good job of staving that off, because we still have our Constitution and we still have our constitutional republic, and it's still fairly fair that someone like Trump could win. If Trump doesn't win, it won't happen again, because the deep state, the cronies, all the people that are involved in all of this stuff that they're trying to
They'll
keep
never
you
let
from.
Trump happen again. A Trump thing
No.
happen again.
No. That's why there was the Russian collusion. That's why there was the impeachment. That's why, everything that they've tried to throw at him that's been complete and utter lies. But they go, oh, well, the FBI's on his side.
Well,
No, it isn't.
now more so than ever, because of social media, they can silence people. They have a wider reach and a more ability to silence people.
They can program people with it.
Mhm.
They can give you the agenda they want you to hear. They can say these people are racist, these people are, are criminals, these people are whomever, and there's nothing that you can say against it, because they can railroad information. There should have been some addressing of this, of these social media issues a long time ago.
Agreed.
But unfortunately, that didn't happen a long time ago, and now we absolutely see that we need it, just to protect people's freedom of information, the free exchange of information, the free communication of the truth, because there is a lack of it, because they think that they know better. They think they can't give you the information. They need to give you the narrative. So
Mhm.
they need to tell you what to think.
Which is why when the New York Post puts out this story, that's, it's a fact that this, that they got this laptop that had this information on it.
Mhm.
They shut it down because it's not part of the narrative.
Mhm.
It's factually that it happened, as far as we know, but it's not part of the narrative, so we don't want that out there.
Yeah, it doesn't support their control,
Yeah.
and yeah, and I just think that everybody needs to take this election very seriously. Please vote for freedom and for America, because I really don't want to see this country continue down the path it would have continued down had Hillary won. You know, if you were going to vote for Hillary, that's great. If you wanted nostalgia or whatever, we don't need nostalgia. We need to get the people out that are really pushing this country into such a dark place that perhaps we wouldn't see it directly, because that's not what they want us to see. They want us to see smoke and mirrors, you know. And I'm not talking about QAnon. I'm not talking about any of that BS. I'm just saying there are certain things that we need to protect, and one way of voting will protect those.
One side wants to protect it, and the
Yeah.
other side does not.
Correct. Yep. Because, you know,
The other side wants to tell you what to think, what to do, you know, what change your speech you can make, you
Yep.
know, what's the new word of the day. It's like when they did the hearings, and it was Amy Coney Barrett said what'd she say?
Sexual preference.
And then
rather than-
literally within hours, the Webster's Dictionary changed the definition of sexual preference to be a slur.
Yeah.
Whereas prior to this, it was not, but because they said now, because it basically says that you have a preference as to who you love,
Yeah.
then it's a slur.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyways, but that's an example, a prime example of how they are changing things and taking away your freedom of speech, and you have to be aware of it.
Yeah.
You have to be aware of it. Like, you know, if you're on the left, you think that everything's fine and everything's peachy and Trump's a Hitler and all this stuff like that. But you have to realize that just because you're on the left doesn't mean they're not coming for you next, because they are.
Oh, yeah. Well, and you know, Yuri Bezmenov, we did that whole episode on it, you know, but I mean, there's way more to get into, which I think we really have to get into. But, you know, he's saying useful idiots, and not that people who want to do the right thing by society and being progressive and all that stuff are idiots. The problem is that you're ignoring all the other aspects of it that are you're telling people what they can say and cannot say. Okay, well, that's fine when you agree with those things.
Exactly.
But what happens in 10 years when you're the bigot?
Right.
You know, because you believe that interracial marriage is good. Oh, suddenly you're a bigot or whatever, you know, like, because now things have changed. You can't have white people marrying those people. That's, you know, because white people are gross.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, wait, no, that was cool before. Remember, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, it isn't.
Yep.
You know, and then suddenly you're like, oh, I should have voted for Trump. Seriously, that's exactly what you'll have. You're the hiker that goes and tries to save those kitties, and then I should have had a gun. You know, suddenly when you have a you know.
Yep.
But that's the way it is. Yes.
Well, we're out of time.
Yes.
Do you want to say anything?
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for watching. Please subscribe to our channel. Please share with your friends. We are funny 99% of the time and poignant 1% of the time. So I think it's a fair trade of your time. You know, we'll make you laugh. We're not as heavy as this show is a little heavier than some, but it's because the election's coming up.
Yeah.
You know, and we are concerned about our future and our lives. You know. You can check us out on all major podcasting platforms. We are downloadable and streamable. And Roma, our social media.
Yeah, so you can find us on Instagram, Facebook. Did you say Twitter? Parler?
Twitter and Parler. Parler more so because actually you can have free speech on Parler.
Yeah, so Instagram and Facebook is the Sensible Sociopath Podcast.
Yep. And at Sensoc Steve, SENSOC Steve, or you can look up the Sensible Sociopath Podcast.
Yeah, you'll find us.
Yeah.
So,
and we're back every Friday. We're going to be planning on a few extra episodes coming up here soon. And so,
yep, I think we're going to have a Halloween special for you guys, but we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah. And then I did not do complete the outro. So
okay.
Almost done.
Next
so
week.
Next week will be the new outro.
Awesome. I'm excited.
But for now, you can enjoy the old outro.
Have a good one, you guys.
Thank
Good night.
You.
It's over, Johnny.
Yeah, I read a survey once that like 98% of people die.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
Europe would be a fraction of the size that it is today, if not for incest.
It's over. Nothing is over. Nothing! You just don't turn it off!
Content and stories and whimsy and a little love.
So they say the big one's coming. For California.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Was she a great big fat person?
That's right.
Have you ever seen how many clothespins you could get on your scrotum? You ever dabbled in the dark arts?
Guess what? I don't have to fuck the goats anymore.
It's actually quite a bit of fun.
Hashtag them too. I have no control over life.
If I had a keyboard, I'd be able to help you.
What dude hasn't tried to blow himself? 8 3/4 is totally fine.
They say that you can kill yourself.
Mark Hamill as a voice actor is absolutely phenomenal.
People get really, really hostile really, really quickly.
Rape and incest.
Oh, we started talking about crazy Joe Biden and they shut us down.
I got the ultra AIDS.
Nobody's got AIDS.
You're throwing off my game with your heartbeat and your talking and your breathing.
I have had to stop using my favorite poop phrase.
Why stop at 2 atomic bombs? Why don't we just do the whole thing?
Is this one of them left or right-handed coffins? Oh shit. Oh, that's a dick. Sorry, kids.
I'm airing my junk out and I'm looking bold. I've always been a fan of Evan Watson. After she turned 18.
After? That's where you and I are different, my friend.
I mean, I don't have a problem digging a hole and keeping an erection.
It's all about romance.
Texting, talking, touching.
Jumper cables and proper voltage, you could have dead baby movement.
You guys judgmental, me not so much. Bunch of Judas Priest albums. Rob Halford's pretty badass.
Yeah, I like Judas Priest.
You know he's gay.
Really?
Mm-hmm.